I'd imagined that a week or two after we got back to Flint, we'd get a phone call from Alabama with the winner of the big battle on the other end. If it was Byron, he'd talk kind of cool and low out of the corner of his mouth and say, "Shoot, man, you better come get this old chick. I ate her alive." If Grandma Sands won the battle, we'd have to hold the phone away from our ears while she shouted, "Lana, you call this a bad child? This little saint is ready to come back north and go to Sunday school and scrub all y'all's floors." But as soon as I saw Grandma Sands, I knew that Byron would destroy this old woman. I was even afraid Mama might decide not to leave him in Alabama. Byron walked up to the porch real cool and kind of bent over to give Grandma Sands a hug. Grandma Sands squeezed him hard. "Lana, what you teach these babies up north? Don't they know how to give no one a proper hug?" She held Byron by the arms and looked at him from top to bottom. "You grew up to be a fine-looking boy. You was so puny when you was born, you nearly had worried us crazy. Got strong, too." She slapped Byron's arm and kind of laughed. Grandma Sands reached up and ran her wrinkly old hand over Byron's head. "A little short on hair, but we gon' get on just fine. What you think, Bi?" "Yes, ma'am." "Good, good. See, there's lots of things you can do down here. Mr. Robert ain't as much help as he used to be, so all them things he used to do, you can do now." Mama said, "Who? Mr. Who?" Dad came up to the porch and got a ton of hugs and tears, too. Then Grandma Sands pulled everybody together. Her little arms could only get around one person at a time. But as the weird Watsons stood there with some of us laughing, some of us crying, and some of us looking cool, it felt like we were all wrapped up in a big ball. Grandma Sands kept saying, "My family, my beautiful, beautiful family." Except that Southern-style accent and all that weeping, it sounded like she was saying, "Fambly." Finally, the crowd started breaking up, and Grandma Sands said, "Now, what am I gonna feed y'all? I wasn't expecting you till Monday. Me and Mr. Robert usually just has leftovers on Sunday. But I guess if Bi'll go down to Job's and pick up some things, we can have chicken tonight. You good at following directions, Byron?" "Huh?" Bi's face twisted up. "What?" Grandma Sands' voice popped like one of those big brown grocery bags being snapped open. Bi looked surprised and said, I meant, huh, ma'am?" "You good at following directions. Job's is a good little walk." I said, "He can follow directions real good, Grandma Sands. He's not as dumb as he looks." I shut up real quick and wished I hadn't said anything when Grandma Sands looked at me and said, "Lana, maybe there's two who should be spending the summer down here with their granny." Everybody started going inside the ugly little house. Mama sounded worried. "Mama, who is this Mr. Robert?" Grandma Sands laughed just like the Wicked Witch of the West and said, "Honey, we gotta talk. You just be patient, and soon as he gets up, I want all of y'all to meet him." "Soon's he gets up? Aw, Mama." Mama sounded real upset and disappointed and Southern. But not as disappointed as me. The way Byron kept his head down and was smiling and saying, "Yes, ma'am," this and "No, ma'am," that, it looked like he had surrendered before the first punch was thrown. Instead of King Kong and Godzilla, it was like King Kong and Bambi. Instead of Bobo Brazil and the Sheik, it was like Bobo Brazil and Captain Kangaroo. Instead of Dracula and Frankenstein, it was like Dracula and a giraffe. And Byron was all neck. He knew exactly what I was thinking. After Graham Sands gave us directions, Byron looked at me sideways and said, "What the hell you staring at?" I just shook my head. "What do you expect?" Bi asked. "You seen her? That bird's as old as dirt. She's so old I bet as soon as she stepped over dinosaur turds. I ain't gonna have her death on my hands." I knew that was a lie. It seemed like all the fight was out of Byron, and we'd only been in Birmingham for a couple of minutes.